Hi everyone. I come to you today on something which has been very much on my mind in the recent past. In fact, when we were children, my parents always used to say, when we are leaving the house and going to boarding school, they would say, remember which home you come from, remember who you are, remember what name you carry. And that has become even more relevant for me in the last few years. And as I reflect going into the future, it's become something of a constant reminder of how we carry ourselves around the world. As it stands at the moment, if talking about the value of your name, what your name really means in the marketplace, in your community, as an entrepreneur, if you sell a product, what's the name of the product you sell? What value does it carry for the customer? From a personal point of view, you look at your name, your image, your personal character around people, and then when it comes to companies, even just looking at it from the name's perspective. When I mention a name like Barack Obama, you know exactly that was the first black American president. I mentioned the name Osama bin Laden, terrorism immediately comes to your mind. Then for brands, when you mention the name Coca-Cola, McDonald's, there's no question there. Everyone around the world would identify with those names in one way or the other. It's immaterial whether you like the product or not, but those names have become synonymous to our existence. Today, Samsung, Apple, and all of that, those names actually have become synonymous to our existence. I'm reminded of a story I read, which, written by someone found in a library in France, where this person was sitting in a coffee shop in Paris, and he was an entrepreneur, a Swedish entrepreneur, and he sat in this coffee shop, and the newspaper headlines of that morning read, the entrepreneur of death, the merchant of death is dead. And this guy was sitting there, and the person they were referring to, they thought they were referring to, was him. His name was Ludwig Nobel. But unfortunately, the press got it wrong, because the person who actually died was Ludwig Nobel died, and Alfred Nobel was sitting in the cafe and reading newspapers saying that he had died. And his whole life, or post his life, flashed in front of him. The epitaph that would be on his tombstone, that message which everyone would carry around the world after his death, flashed in front of his eyes. And guess what he did? He moved to go ahead and change that. He changed what his name became post his existence. Today, what we know as the Nobel Peace Prize came from that, because Alfred Nobel, who produced ballistics, who produced dynamites in the earlier wars, saw his name on the headline of a newspaper as the merchant of death. But today, we have a prize that is named after him, the Nobel Peace Prize. So he changed the narrative around his name. So my question to you today is, as an entrepreneur, what is the brand you have out there What's the product you're selling? What, as a company, what is the image people have of your company? What is the soul of your company in the hearts of the communities that you serve? Just reflect on that, and as we go through our days, we need to be reminded of the value of our name in the marketplace. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video.